quorate, so
we
I
are
think we can
quorate,
start.
and I'm sure Ange will join us as soon as she can anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, okay, if you want to give me the countdown.
Let's start it, Rob.
Okay, so hello, welcome, Happy New Year to everybody, and hope you had a good Christmas, and welcome to the January meeting of the Culture, Tourism and Communications Committee. Do we have any apologies, Ian?
Yes, Chair, we have apologies from Councillor Zoo and Councillor Parkin.
There we are, thank you, we'll note those. Hi Claire as well. Any declarations of interest, anybody?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, next on the agenda, not agita, is I think action points of the last meeting, isn't it?
No, minutes, if you don't mind.
Minutes.
No, December speaking, please, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, because everything's sent on Teams, I can't sort of dip it, and I'm online, I can't dip and out
No problem.
of things. So would anybody like to propose the minutes and second them? Richard?
Yeah, propose them. Yep, second them. Yeah.
There we are.
Thank you.
Thanks. So next thing I think is the action points, isn't it?
Shall I run through those, Chair?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Just for you to be aware, Kerry sends her apologies, and although she's not a councillor, obviously, but also Paul isn't here, but he has given me some updates in relation to the financial matters for when we come to that.
There we are.
But anyway, I'll read the actions unless they apply to agenda items. Is that okay?
Yep.
Right. Item number 8, to explore the cost and options of using iPhones for recording equipment within MCC, and that's yours, Chair.
Yes, that's gone in as a budget proposal.
Budget, oh, that's complete, that's wonderful.
That's complete, that's gone in as a budget proposal.
Number 17, Claire Anderson to meet with RFO and Councillors Marshall and O'Connor to agree date for Mumbles Fest.
Well, we'll talk about that when we come to Mumbles Fest then.
Mumbles Fest, fair enough. Sorry, yes, it is on the list, isn't it? Sorry. And again, discussing acts, that's part of it as well. Number 18, to research cost of purchasing wine, cheese, snacks, cost of ticket prices to be agreed and liaise with RFO to identify an underspent budget, Newton Ward Family Fun Day, to fund decorations at the event. And that's Claire.
Is this for the cheese and wine?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've spoken to Cheers and Olives and Oils briefly about the event, and we believe that the ticket price will cover the cheese and the wine, and then if there is an underspend to be spent, I'll speak to Paul about it, but we're looking at a spring event post the Easter holidays. So we're just working on a model for that, which I'll send round as soon as it's agreed, but we've still got quite a lot of time before then.
Okay. Thank you. Like Christmas lighting is an agenda item. Well, we've got one for Angela, but she's not here, so I'll skip that.
Yes, she is.
Hello, Angela. Sorry, I didn't see you join.
I am.
I beg your pardon. You've got one here, number 26, to explore opportunities for incorporating National Small Business Week within the area.
Yes, we still need to explore that.
Okay, I'll defer that. Shall I defer it to March or April or next month?
Or even February.
Yeah, next month is fine. Next
February,
month is fine.
okay.
Thank you, Ian.
I spoke to some locals regarding something that could fit quite well under that earlier on today, so perhaps I could touch base with you, Ange and Rob, about that.
Yes.
Lovely.
Yes, please, Claire. Thank you.
Right, the next one I've completed, the owl camera. The next one, the last one, is for key officers and councillors connected to events to meet with Paul Whitaker and discuss current and future expenditure of events. and that's with the chair, the RFO, and Claire. Any other-
Martin, Rhian, do you want to come in on this? Because I know you've met with him.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't think I've formally met. Yeah, I don't think I formally met with him, but we have discussed, and this whole sort of thing. I don't know if Rhian wants to come in a bit now, but like this event that Rhian has been talking about, I do think we need to have a more formal meeting with Paul to discuss, if you like, the governance of how we work in closer partnership with Mumbles Traders, because it's all very ad hoc at the moment, and you know, in relation to both this and the Christmas event, and I know we would like to have sort of closer relationships probably going forward with the Christmas event next year. I think we need to meet with him more formally, and I'll discuss this with the clerk probably later this week or early next week.
Shall I defer to February or later, Martin?
You what, sorry?
Shall I defer this action until a further later month?
Yes, do that. Yeah.
Next month or later, would you like?
Next month.
Fine. That concludes the actions, Chair.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Angela, I didn't see your hand.
Ange, sorry, I didn't see yours either. You're on mute, love.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yes.
I have my my AirPods in. Yeah, basically, with regards to the Christmas event that we did, just to, in case you didn't know, that Will, Francesca and myself, we actually added basically money in ourselves from our budget for certain things, just to make it a little bit more than what it is. So unless we can talk with, unless there's the budget to add extra from MCC's budget to give him, I know we give him X amount of money, but I don't feel like it's enough for certainly the Christmas event. But then again, I don't know what the amount is for the whole year. Hence why back on the idea about the St. David's Parade, I said less events again and making each event better. If that makes sense to everybody. You know, just concentrate on some of the smaller events and make them better. And then when we've got them up to a level that we're all happy with, then bring in another event to sort of manage and make better, rather than have lots of little events. You know, because I know that Paul does separately to ours, you know, without, sorry, going off on a tangent, but you know, the retro events and all of those, which again, sometimes maybe, you know, we may be asked to contribute or help make that better, but we're not really involved so heavily in that. So just to concentrate on the ones that we are.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't want to bring loads of other stuff in there.
No, that's fine. Rhian first and then Richard.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Sorry, I actually missed the introduction that you gave at the beginning. I was miles away, so apologies for that. So I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn or, you know, appropriately at this point, but I do think it's important that we do something for St. David's Day. I know that we're having a dinner for, excuse me, Coffee and Friends participants, if you like, and I think that's fantastic. But I do think, you know, if possible, we should have something for St. David's Day, you know, symbolic, a gesture. Is that what we're discussing at this point, or the action point? I'm sorry, I was miles away. Julius is talking to me, and
we were discussing more the relationship with Paul and having a meeting with Paul about his program of events for throughout the year.
Oh, right, okay.
We
So I'm way
haven't
off
got to, yeah, we haven't got to the St. David's Day thing
Okay.
yet. Okay, Rich?
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah. Well, I agree with both the ladies there. What Angela says is true, because some people can be, should I say, over enthusiastic, and we try to do too much, and then as a council, we struggle to get everything done. Gradually do more things, but make sure they're done well. And as we said, St. David's Day, I know we used to do something for St. David's Day pre-COVID. We need to revisit that. There used to be a St. David's Day parade and all the rest of it. That's something I think we should do, but we need to be careful, as Angela says, about doing too much, and then we overstretch it in ourselves, and our staff are busy enough as it is.
Okay, thanks, Reg. If I can just come in a minute and sort of give my own sort of view without going into too much detail. I mean, Paul does some really good events. The road closures are lovely. I think as a community council, the Christmas really should be up to us rather than Mumbles Traders, because like Swansea City Council do the big parade in town and Father Christmas arriving in town. It's not the shop owners of town or the business hub or whatever. I'm sure there's some sponsorship goes into it, and that's something we could look into for the Christmas event. What I'm keen that doesn't happen is Paul double events that we do. Like Angela said about the retro weekend, well, it was quite close to Mumbles Fest, and you know, it's another music festival up the castle. So maybe, you know, when we meet with him, these are the sort of things we need to iron out with him and make sure we're not doubling up on events and spending money twice on two similar events when they could be into the one event to make it better. So yeah, absolutely agree with everything I've heard. Okay, thanks for that. What's next, Ian?
The next item is item number 5, the budget monitoring report, and you should have reports from Paul Bynan.
Yes, yes.
And
you've got something extra to add, you said, was it?
Well, not in relation to that particular one. I will have, I don't know if this is relevant to the budgeting report. It probably is. It says the warm hubs is underspending due to the reasons shown above. I'll just read that one. It's Coffee with Friends is overspending as the budget of £600 was only meant to cover the summer months, with warm hubs then taking over for the rest of the year. As a warm hub has not been set up at the Ostrom, a recommendation should be made to council to via £1,400 from warm hubs to Coffee with Friends. So perhaps that's an appropriate time to deal with that now, would you say, Chair? Or
absolutely.
Yeah.
So look, understand exactly what Ian said. We've overspent with the Coffee with Friends, and so the warm hub as it is at the moment is in the West Cross ward. I am certainly 100% in favour of keeping the Coffee with Friends. I know my dad really enjoys it. It gets him out the house, and the people who go to that are going there because they need company and they want to chat. And as important as it is to keep people warm and offer them somewhere to go for some food, it's important to look after our elderly relatives and make sure they're not isolated in their homes. So can I just put to a vote that we have a recommendation going to full council to via the appropriate money to cover this? So all those in favour?
Yeah.
thank you,
Sorry,
Chair.
Ange, you've got your head up, your hand up.
Sorry, yeah, just a quick question about the money. Is it for just the Tuesdays? Because there was a grant, wasn't there, to cover the Thursdays? So we're just talking about the Tuesdays now, yeah? Yeah, okay.
Yes, the Thursdays is covered up until the end of March, and that's from a grant that Kerry has sourced.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we'll do the vote again because I didn't look anyway. So all those in favour of firing the money?
Yeah.
There we are. That's
lovely, Chair. The only other information, I think really more than anything else, Paul tells me that the expenditure will increase in December and January due to invoices being paid for the Christmas lights and community parties. The only other item is the floral decorations, which is a separate agenda item, which I'll cover then. And if you're happy with the reports, could I ask that they're agreed? Or
yeah. I mean, I'm happy with the reports. Has everybody else had a look through them?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, everybody happy to approve them?
Lovely.
Brilliant.
So the next item, Chair, is Mumbles Fest, which, as I alluded to earlier, is an action which was relating to proposing a date and also an update on. Let me just get the right one. Sorry. To agree a date and to discuss acts and budgets prior to the event. I think Paul has also sent documents in relation to this as well. Hopefully you've got those attached as well.
They'll be in the part of Teams I can't get into at the moment.
Okay.
Because I'm on the laptop. But first of all, I mean, I've spoken to Claire and I've spoken to Angela about Mumbles Fest. And I think the three of us have all agreed that it'd be good to do it in July or the very end of June. Now, there's one date in July I can't do, which is Saturday the 13th. And I know there's a couple of dates Claire can't do as well, aren't there, Claire?
Yeah, I've written a list of dates that are good that we could do, but also that take into account various things going on in Swansea and surrounding areas as well.
Right.
So I could
go
give
through
you
that for us.
So I'll read you shall I read you the June and July dates? So in June, availability that I'm aware of, and I have asked special events for a list in Swansea Council to send me anything we might not have taken into account, but available to us are the 1st of June, the 8th of June, 15th of June. Then from the 15th of June, it jumps to the 20th of July, the 27th of July, when we'd be into the school holidays then, so we'd have to consider that, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. And then we're going into August the 3rd. And as far as I'm aware, all of August is available to us. We'd have to take on board things like the Gower Show, and also we hold the family fun days each Wednesday throughout August. In general, I don't know if that's going to happen this year, but that's happened the last couple of years. So I'm presuming we'll have something like that as well. So those are the June, July dates. The other options are at the end of May, which could be really good to really kickstart the end of the beginning of festival season. I don't think that would be a problem. I don't see anything on the calendar at of special events, but we could tentatively put one of these dates in, and then I can check with special events, one, to see if the castle grounds is available, and two, to see if there are any other clashing concerts, festivals, triathlons, runs, etc., etc.
Okay, thanks, Claire. It's Rhian first and then Richard. I just wanted to say, Claire, we do know that they've cancelled the beach festival. Oh, there's an echo going on there.
Oh, really? That was the Tunes on the Beach?
Yeah.
Have they? So that frees up then the 6th of June.
Okay. Rhian, then Reg.
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, I personally think it's a better idea to have it earlier than later. I mean, August. Can you hear that echo?
Yeah.
No.
It's somebody. I think both of you got your mics on in the office.
Yeah.
I haven't.
No, we're not on Teams.
Okay. Oh, that's better. Yeah, I personally think it's better to have it earlier than later because the weather is more reliable. May, June, I think August is often quite a rainy month.
Okay, Rich?
Yeah, on the dates, what Claire says, it's a great idea. However, I know May can be problematic with weather. There again, this is West Wales. We can get rain throughout the year. But yeah, I think sooner rather than later. So if it's got to be cancelled, we've got plenty of time to reschedule it.
Okay, Ange, have you got any sort of professional advice on this?
No professional advice. I mean, I do tend to think that August sometimes the nicer weather is earlier on. And I suppose there is the opportunity to move the date if need be. I'd be happy to look at earlier on in July or even in June. And Claire, was the date from June the 5th onwards, did you say? Or we couldn't have anything? When you spoke about, you gave some June dates that we could have.
Yes. I think actually it said the 8th. I think. Oh no, it was early July. I'm not around that weekend that it was on anyway, so I wouldn't be able to do it that weekend. I think it was the 6th and 7th of July. I'll just quickly gamble. I thought it was June, but it was July actually. I really don't want to have to do it twice this year, and it was a real headache because it was meant to be on at the end, mid to the end of July, and then it was on in September, and then it wrote off 2 months of my summer for me, and I really don't want to have to do that. So as I said, if we're going to do it, let's hit it hard at once and take precautions this year and find a budget to make sure it can go ahead. Although the rain was coming in sideways, so no matter if any precautions were going to save Mumbles Fest in that July date. But that is the first weekend of the summer holidays. So that would almost be like your prime time in the summer doing it that weekend, and it just was awful. So, and you know, September can be great or it can be wet. May can be great or it can be wet. There's no rhyme or reason with our weather. We just have to take a gamble on it and just hope for the best.
How does everyone feel about the end of June then? Are we thinking while the kids are still in school, something nice before everyone, you know, goes off and visits?
Between the 15th of June and the 20th of July is a no-go for me anyway. If you want me there, I cannot do those dates. I'm away.
That's a whole month then.
It's not just me. There's other things going on during that period as well. There's other festivals and things that we've taken into account.
1st of June?
Yeah. 8th of June, 15th of June, they're all free.
I thought you just said you couldn't do, what's the month you couldn't do from, sorry?
I can't do from the 20th of June, the 15th of June. I can do the 15th, but then I can't do the following weekend, which is something like the 22nd. Can't do that. And then I can't do the next few. Because I'm just...
What about
there's other things on. But then available from the 20th of July onwards, or May's got some good dates in it as well, or the last couple in July, or anything in August, anything in September. We just need to, you know, there's plenty of available dates to pick.
Okay, well, either we could do the end of May, that bank holiday weekend, if you wanted, or we could just do the 1st of July weekend date that you can do then, and have.
Actually, the air show, that was the 3rd to the 5th of May was the Tunes on the Bay, so that was a very early festival. And the reason that we can't have the 6th to the 7th of July is because it's the air show and there's road closures everywhere, so we don't want to go up against that.
No.
15th of June?
What about the 1st of June? After that, would that be a bank holiday weekend? No, sorry. What about the 25th of May? That weekend, would that be a bank holiday on the Monday?
There's a reason. I haven't got the 25th of May in because there was a reason. There's something on from CCS. I can't remember what it was, but I put the 11th, the 18th, and the 31st of May are available, and I'm around the whole of May. But there was a reason we couldn't do the 25th.
Okay.
It's not that beach festival, is it?
No, that was the very first weekend in May, which is now available to us.
Right. Let's bring Rhian in and then Rich a minute.
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, as I said, I'm all for having it early because I think we're much more likely to have nice weather. And I was just also thinking about, you know, if we're hoping or expecting to get the schools choir involved this year. I know it can be a little bit of a problem sometimes, but yeah, that's it really. So just to think about the weather, I think that's a biggie. And you know, if we're hoping to get the schools involved, they're more likely to want to come on board if it's not in the school holidays.
Okay, thanks, Rhian. Before I bring Rich in, I just want to say about the schools choir. Last year we had Oystermouth do it. I think it's far less of a headache for us all if we just have a rota of one school per year doing it and do it that way rather than try and coordinate all the schools together, because it just hasn't worked in all the years we've tried to do it. It's been a massive ball ache. There's been problems, as we know, and I think it's far easier to just have one school do it and invite or pull them out of a hat. I mean, Mumbles will have a chance now in another 6 years' time, but we just put the other 6 in a bag and we pull out one and invite them. If they can't do it, the next one. That's what I would suggest. Anyway, Richard, then Ange.
On what you just said there, Rob, or not have a schools choir. That's one option.
Or not have a schools choir, yeah.
That's something we could put the vote. But I say one school at a time. Yeah, that's a good idea. For the dates, I would favour June. As Claire said, she can do the 1st, 8th, or the 15th, because June is normally a pretty good month. And then if we can't do it then, we can do it. You've got plenty of time to reorganise it. But I think the beginning of June would be best, in my opinion.
Okay, thanks. Ange?
Okay, first off, I'll throw my hat in for the June. I'll go with the 1st or the 8th then, if we want to go with June. And then I do slightly disagree about the schools choir, Rob, only because I do think that when the schools are there early, it does get the parents and friends and family in there early, which helps to fill it early. And then admittedly they go maybe after an hour, but when people are arriving, it feels like there is some life there. And I do think that we risk it being quite deado in the beginning. So, and I think also if only one school can turn up, then so be it. It's a community event and we've opened it up to everybody and everyone has an equal chance of coming and playing a part. And if they don't want to, then that's up to them. But we have at least given them the chance. I know it's maybe a little bit more headwork, but I do think we should pursue that and continue that.
Okay, thanks, Ange. Right, nobody else has got their hands up, so I'm going to say I'm going to favour a June date rather than a May date. I think May is a little bit early and it's not leaving us as much time to organise it. We'll have lighter evenings in June, and you know, sometimes you can be in May and you're not even in shorts. June, I am, whatever. So I'd rather wear shorts for the day rather than long trousers. So that's my own thing about it. I just think, you know, it's nice. The other thing I suppose we just should consider before we go to a vote on it is that in June, the GCSE and A-level exams will still be on. So we might not get as many of that sort of crowd going, although if it was me, I'd probably go anyway and think, oh, this is just, you know, I can have a break. But anyway, all right, let's put it to the vote then. I mean, we've had June the 1st, the 8th, or the 15th.
Rob, sorry, can I just, sorry, I've had my hands up for a bit. Can I just come in before you make a vote? Just something you might want to be aware of. On the 8th, which is great, that's fine, but on the 9th of June is the half marathon. So from very early the next morning, or even potentially on the 8th, they might be beginning to close the roads. So I just need to be aware of that. The other point is on the 15th, maybe more of the exams are done. So you might get more of the teenagers coming, although we're not the direct audience for the teenage market anyway. So I don't think we need to worry about that because we are more sort of a family day out, I suppose, aren't we? So anyway, I just wanted to point out about the marathon, that's all.
Okay, thank you about that. Personally, I don't think the road closure would happen on the Saturday, but it's going to be a pain for people coming down to take the tent down to de-rig the whole site.
To be honest, that often happens on a Monday, so we can you know make it work that way as well. Doesn't need to be.
All right then. So look, we've got 3 dates in June which are possible. I'm going to start it off by saying I would favour the 15th myself. Is there anybody else who would favour the 15th? Rich, Rian? Okay. Now we'll go to the 8th then. Is there anybody who would favour the 8th of June? Ange? Okay, so the
Or
first
the first, or the
or the first. Okay, so who's for the 1st of June? Martin and Rhian haven't voted on either, so please.
I was just going to say, as far as I'm concerned with that, I think we should try to avoid the weekend of the, is it the half marathon, which is the
Right.
9th, because it's you know, it would just be easier, I think,
Messy,
more than
yeah.
anything. Yeah. But as far as I'm concerned, other than that, the 1st or the 15th, I'm happy with.
Okay,
I'm going for the
happy.
15th. Rob, excuse me, I did go for the 15th. I
Oh,
wasn't.
sorry, I didn't see you, Rhian. Right, so look, we've taken the 8th out. Rhian, Richard, and myself went for the 15th. So, are you the rest of you happy with that?
Hi guys,
Yeah.
I don't mind either date, to be honest. The only reason I opted not for the 15th is because it is my birthday weekend and I may have other plans on that weekend. That's the only thing.
Oh,
It's not that I want you to change Mumbles Fest for that. I'm happy with whatever you decide. I just
is that no? We've got to be fair to everybody here, you know, and you know, I know it's not your big birthday, but that's next year, isn't it? No, I'm joking. But you got a while for that. But what would you normally do on your birthday?
Oh,
Oh, I don't want you to miss out on her birthday.
Get Peter.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I might even go to Mumbles Fest.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing to do for the birthday.
So I'm trying to desperately charge my phone up here before I die in the middle of the conversation. Look, if everyone's happy to go the 15th,
50.
then you know we can go for the 15th.
We'll let you go early
That is-
so you can go out after.
Exactly.
All right, there we are then. Claire.
so I was just going to say, now we've got a few dates and we're favouring the 15th. Why don't we hold it there and I just write to special events, because we may not be able to have one of those dates. We might need to just ask if there's other things going on or if the castle's available. So
Yeah.
shall I ask what they've got in June available for us and what they've got on that might clash, and then email everybody with that, and then we can make the date then, or what?
Well, why don't we just say, unless there's a clash, we'll go for the 15th.
Fine, okay.
There we are.
I think that's fair enough, yeah.
There we are.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks everybody. So we have a date, hopefully, for Mumbles Fest. What's
Is it
next
worth
on-
giving Claire a second one in case? So when she's making the phone calls, if there was a problem with that date, then she's got another one to give straight away. Is it worth giving her the option now to save time?
It is.
Well, I thought we
just
were
wanna
going to
bring-
go for the 1st. Go on.
Well, yeah, it would have to be the 1st in June, wouldn't it? I just want to bring Pip in because he had his hand up.
Oh, thanks, Rob.
Sorry.
Just to say that it goes without saying, if you need a hand, give me a shout, you know, with
Thank
anything
you.
on the day. And one suggestion, if it's the 15th, give Angela a free go on the bouncy castle for a birthday.
Absolutely.
Will you
After she's had a drink.
That's my contribution to the meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
After a kebab and a bottle of champagne.
No.
Oh,
It's
no.
the best contribution, though, Pip.
Okay, well, look. Should we agree then? If we can't do the 15th, we'll go for the 1st of June.
Yeah,
There
I
we
think
are.
that's fair.
Brilliant. There we are, Claire. That solves it.
I'll report as soon as I can get an email from
Yeah, no worries. Okay, Ian, next on the agenda.
This one is, which we discussed a little bit, is number 7, the Welsh event on the 1st of March, please.
Ah, over to Ian. Oh no, that's Paul Whitaker's proposed event, isn't it?
No,
No?
don't think so.
Which one was that?
Is
Sorry,
it-
Rob.
The Welsh event for St David's Day on the 1st of March. Oh, I tell you what that was. We were thinking about doing coffee for the coffee and cake people, doing like a cowl and a Welsh thing like that. So I mean, look, we've got a couple of options. We want to market, as Rhian and Richard have said. One option might be just to have an open off stream with tea and Welsh cakes, so people, you know, working in Mumbles can just pop in and have a cup of tea and a Welsh cake and a piece of Bara Brith or something like that. That might be quite nice because we can, you know, open that to the whole community then. What do you think, Rhian?
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, I think whatever we do is going to have to be quite simple now, isn't it? Because it's, you know, it's basically a month away. What about the Dragon Parade? Is that operational at the moment? The Dragon, or
Mumbles Development Trust house the Dragon for us. They store it for us. I don't know what state it's in, but since I've been a councillor a couple of times, we've had to pay like a couple of thousand and a couple of hundred at various points to have it repaired. Now, I mean, the other thing is St David's Day itself is a Friday this year. Are the kids going to come out of school or be allowed out of school to take part in a parade? Who else is going to be around to see it? So, you know, these are the things we need to think about when putting on something through the village, I suppose.
well, I mean, you know, I mean, how often is St David's Day gonna fall on the weekend? You know, or
I know.
I don't know how many. Yeah. So, I mean, is it possible to, you know, to have it on the Saturday, the Dragons Parade? Could we find out if it is, you know, in good working order? Or I think the Welsh cakes and the cup of tea is a lovely idea. At least it's something, isn't it? You know, doesn't have to be a big event, but I do think that we should. Well, you're saying that, I know you are, but could we find out if the Dragon is, you know?
I suppose, Claire, would you be able to get in touch with Naomi and ask her the state of it?
We spoke.
Sorry, you broke up then.
I spoke to MDT when we were talking about a Welsh event previously, and I think the Dragon's okay, but I don't know how much we'd have to pay to get the Dragon moved, because it's quite a large piece of kit and it needs a special vehicle to be able to get it down to Southend or to wherever we want to take it. So we'd have to have manpower to do that. I think that's what I'll ring them and find out, and I'll get back to you on it, let you know what the situation is with it.
Okay.
I don't know if there's time now, though, is there? Because we're not going to have another culture meeting before St David's Day. Yeah. Well, why don't we just go for the tea and Welsh cakes then? Oh, my echo back.
And Mark, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to echo, which is because everything is echoing. But I don't know, somebody could switch the mic off. I just wanted to echo is that we got to be
like you're doing a rap.
pragmatic.
It's the office, it is.
Is that better? I don't know. I just wanted to echo that we just need to be pragmatic here. We haven't got a lot of time left. I think that we can open up the Ostream, do something like that. Hopefully, maybe do something on the steps at the front, which would be quite easy to do. Even if we can get that Dragon, we could just put the Dragon on the steps or something. I don't know. But I think you know, doing the parade or doing anything bigger this short notice is just not pragmatic more than anything. But I do think just you know, doing Welsh cakes, as I said, Bara Brith, stuff like that, tea and all that in the Ostream Centre is quite manageable. It's a way of marking St David's Day as well. You know, maybe, I don't know, maybe we could approach maybe some of the local shops or businesses to maybe do cowl. I'm not into us doing cowl in the Ostream Centre. I just think there's too much work for us as well. But I'm just echoing what Rhian's saying, I think.
Okay, Rhian, you want to come back? Yeah, Rhian.
Yes, thanks, Chair. So what about Paul Whitaker's involvement then? You know, is this just going to be an MCC event, or is it going to be a Mumbles Traders part event? I think Paul's quotes are very, very expensive. You know, should we just do a toned down event ourselves, or what do other people think? I would be interested to hear what other people think.
I think, can I just jump in here then? I'll sort of take myself out of chair for a moment and just say that, you know, as we are the council, I think the responsibility falls on us to put to market rather than Mumbles Traders to market. They can market by buying a flag themselves and putting it in their window or decorating their shop windows to mark St David's Day. I think for the official marking of St David's Day, it needs to come through the council. And
I agree.
I agree that your observations about Paul's prices are. I mean, we can't afford
£3,500. Yeah, altogether.
I don't think, you know, I think the community will want us to market. I don't think they want us to go excessive about it. So I think that's all I want to say on it. And I think it's better if we market ourselves in a small way like that to show a little token gesture, and that we're offering something to the community. Anybody who's passing by doing a bit of shopping, wants to pop in for a cup of tea and a Welsh cake, happy days.
Are we going to get a little bit of publicity though, you know, just to show that we are doing something for St David's Day?
Yeah, absolutely. Martha and Ange.
Thank you.
Me, did you say? Yeah, I just wanted to say in relation to that, yeah, I don't think we can justify £3,500 on one day. No. You know, as I sort of said, how much does coffee with friends cost us? You know, 20 quid, 30 quid, something like that. Like, you know, if Paul wants to sort of work with us on it, we're all very well and good, but we just got to make him understand that we just can't justify spending that amount of money on a one-day event, really. And so echoing again, we've got to be pragmatic what we can do. I just don't think there's enough time to organise a bigger event, and we should just go with what we're saying here.
Okay, Ange?
Two things. First thing is, if we are going to do, you know, coffee and a Welsh cake or whatever, maybe we could ask the Thursday coffee and cake group to not happen on that Thursday and to all come in and help and do the Friday instead for St David's Day, just for ease, maybe. Oh, Claire's waving at that. You want to come in?
You're doing semaphore.
The Osprey's not available on Friday, so stick with the Thursday and we'll mark it for Thursday the 29th for a nice big Welsh event.
We've booked it, Claire.
Time?
We've booked it between 11 and 3.
On Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah, perfect.
So maybe, as Anne said, we can just ask Helen and Enid and Sue to do the, we cancel the Thursday one. All the old people can come to the Friday one, and anybody else who wants to drop in and have a cuppa and stuff like that. And we ask the volunteers if they do St David's Day instead of that Thursday.
That was just an idea, just in case.
And also, by doing that, Ange, we're going to have the budget for the Thursday to use on the Friday.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if everyone agrees with that. But the other thing I was going to mention was, obviously, I think Rhian's idea there, though, about doing something for St David's Day, certainly in the future, would be a nice thing to do, because obviously it is our national day. But I'm also interested to know what Swansea Council do for it, if anything, and other places. And maybe we could set up a separate meeting just with some ideas for that for next year, maybe. I just don't know if even Swansea Council do anything for St David's Day. And so I'm just a little bit interested if what other councils are doing for that, because some must be really doing something amazing, but maybe others are not really doing that much. And if others aren't doing anything, then there's not that much pressure on us as a community council to then put something on. But that's not to say that, you know, in the future we can't.
Yeah, that's a good point. Before I bring you in, Rhian, you're sort of echoing what I said, really. We need to market, but we don't need to go overboard. I think the public expect us to market and show that we're marking and recognising St David's Day, but I don't think we need to throw thousands and thousands at it, because most people it's another working day. It's not like Christmas, which is a holiday. Unfortunately, St David's Day is no longer a half day like it used to be in school when I was, and some of the older people here would remember when it was a half day of school.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. I'm sorry, Ange, I don't agree. Just because the Swansea City Council aren't doing anything to celebrate St David's Day, I don't think that's a reason why we shouldn't. You know, we are in Wales at the end of the day, and it is our kind of like national day, if you like, our one day of the year where we kind of, you know, pay homage to Wales, if you like. And it sounds to me, if we're doing that Friday, it's going to be what, 12:30 to 2:30 or 12 to 2. Basically, it's a Thursday event, a Thursday coffee with friends, just held on a Friday.
But
yeah, sorry,
no.
Rhian, I didn't. Sorry, just to come in there. I didn't. I don't know if Swansea Council are or aren't doing anything. I was just interested if they were doing anything. I didn't say that they weren't. I don't know if they are doing anything.
No. But, you know, I still think that we should. We are the Culture Committee. And yeah, personally, I think it's really important. You know, we're in Wales. We are the Culture Committee. And what's more cultural than St David's Day in Wales? And I think, you know, whether other councils are doing something to celebrate that or to you know, to kind of mark it or not, I think we should.
Well, we've agreed.
Not a massive event,
no,
but
exactly.
more than a Thursday coffee with friends just held on a Friday.
But it's not just going to be a coffee with friends on a Friday, because it's going to be open to anybody who wants to come. It's going to be open to the general public. We're celebrating St David's Day. Come in and have a cup of tea on us and some Barra bread. There's lots of people who work there. They would never dream of coming to coffee and cake. But, you know, St David's Day, oh, well, you know, I'll pop in, you know, have a bit of cake and whatever. I mean, we can decorate Ostream with daffs. We can do something outside Ostream.
Steps.
I just think, you know, because it's not a holiday, it's not like Christmas, you know, like we know, if I'm diversing slightly, one of Paul's ideas in his proposal was to put flags all outside the shops and stuff like that. Now, for St David's Day, it's one day. There's no build up to St David's Day. There's no after St David's Day. It's one day. So to put up flags for one day really doesn't warrant that money. It's different at Christmas with the trees because there is a big build up to Christmas, which is a proper holiday where everybody is off. St David's Day is just another day people go to work. And as I said to you earlier, even the Welsh people, they seem to celebrate St Patrick's Day more than they do St David's Day.
Does that make it right though, you know?
But it's what happens. I'm with you. We've got to market, and if we can do something else, fine. This year we don't have a lot of time. That's the big problem this year, is we don't have a lot of time to do much for it. But maybe what we will do is have a working group meeting next week or the week after, once I've done my tax return, and then we can look at, identify from Paul how much money we can spend on this, and let's think of what else we can get. If we can get the school down to Flindero to do some Welsh singing there, that would be lovely. If we could get, I don't know, something else Welsh going on in Ostream at the day, we'll do that as well. Or even if they do it on the steps of Ostream to the public. But I don't think we can do a lot, is what I'm saying. Just money and time is the thing.
Yeah, I get that. I do get that. But I just think as the Culture Committee, you know, we should be celebrating St David's Day, you know.
Well, okay, I agree. I think nobody disagrees with you. But as Ange said, Swansea City Council have a culture committee themselves. They have a culture department, a special events department, and they might not be doing as much as we're doing. Yeah. So anyway, Ange.
Yeah, basically, just to reiterate, I'm not against doing something for St David's Day. I think it would be a nice thing to do. I think we have to be realistic that we're less than 6 weeks away. And what is the budget that's allocated for this day? You know, it's a lot to pull off for all of us volunteers to do in 6 weeks. So I think, you know, it would be best placed to do something decent next year, which goes back to what I said at the beginning. Less events, more time and energy spent on putting events on that are of a decent caliber. Otherwise, you know, it is just a coffee and cake with friends all the time. So, you know, I'm not dissing this idea of pulling something off for St David's Day. I agree with you, Rob, you know, and Rhea, and I just feel like we're 6 weeks away from St David's Day, where what is the amount of money, you know, and how much input have we got from everyone's time? So without arguing about this, I just personally, I think it is a lovely, lovely thing to do, but we have to have more time and energy and a little bit of money allocated to this. I'm not sure whether we would pull off something that's really great in 6 weeks. Maybe we could, I don't know, but yeah, that's just my thought.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, I want to move it on from here now, because otherwise we'll just be carrying on talking about this. We need to have the things we've got to get done, and I've got to be up very early in the morning, so I don't want to be here all night either. Can we agree for now that we're going to mark it on St David's Day with a drop-in event for anybody, offering free tea and Welsh cakes and whatever else we can manage to do with budget and time and volunteer situation that people can give to it for this year? Is that okay?
Yeah, well done.
Okay, thanks. Okay, Ian, next.
Yeah, number 8 is the February 2024 half-term fund date.
Right. Okay, well, I don't think this actually needs to be on the agenda, for the simple reason that it seems to be every ward is organising their own party. So, you know,
Okay.
I know West Cross.
Okay, that's brilliant. The next item, which hopefully you've been circulated, I'll just read out the this relates to floral decorations. I'll just read out what Paul said, and hopefully it'll make a bit of sense then. Floral decorations invoiced by Swansea Council is £1,000 less than the budget, but this has been wired to the community parties budget as agreed by Council in December 2023. The environment will be included on the report next month.
Here we are.
So that's, I think it's mainly for our information. I think that's correct.
Yeah, that's just for our information. We all voted on that in full council anyway, and it just meant that we had 750 from council rather than 500 for the ward parties at Christmas. Okay, thanks, Ian. Next is...
Thank you. The next item, number 10, is Christmas lights for 2024, and there is an action on this one, which is Councillor O'Connor, together with the clerk, to explore the cost and options for Christmas lights and decorations for this Christmas.
Okay.
I haven't had any from Kerry, but I don't know if Angela's got any.
No, Kerry did get some figures together, and they were put in for the budget proposal.
Okay.
You know, it's a decent sum of money, but she has done some work on that already.
Okay, I'll check with.
It's best that she speaks on that, I think, because she.
Okay, if you're happy, Chair, I'll speak to Kerry tomorrow, and either close it or defer to next month. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Yeah, thank you.
We're all happy with that? Yep. Yeah. Brilliant.
We're doing well. The last one is future events, and then we've finished.
Oh, brilliant. That's great. Has anybody got any ideas for future events? I mean, you know, we've got the budget proposal, which has gone in. I put in for the Boule competition to be restarted and become an annual event. There's a lot of interest with that, and I know the Vic are very interested in running the bar of that. Mart.
I was just wondering if we'd had any more ideas or taking things forward in doing entertainment, particularly for the warmer months coming up now, on the front of the Ostream, on the steps.
Yeah, myself and Claire have talked about that and said we'll be looking at starting that from Easter onwards.
Yeah,
for
well,
the
it's
warmer
probably
months.
better, yeah, in the warmer months because you know there's not many people around, isn't there? Even on the weekends,
I think is that
and
a
people
hand
don't
up,
want
Claire?
to. Yeah.
Claire?
I think it'd be great to kickstart it for the Easter holidays when everyone's, you
Yeah.
know, there's lots of tourists around. So we can, if anyone's got any ideas, send them over, and then Rob and I will put something together. I'll create a document and keep it in the office, and we'll have some booking system. I think it'd be great to get that going because I really think it'll really help trade as well.
Yeah.
And Rob, while I'm on that, if I can, one idea for a possible event is an event to
Sorry,
showcase.
excuse me 1 moment. I'm in a meeting. I'll call you back. Yeah, bye. Sorry. Say again, Claire. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I was just chatting to a couple of traders earlier on, and it might be a really nice idea to sort of hold some, you know, like drink and hospitality industry, to give them some kind of showcase / festival indoors, maybe in the Ostream. It was just about, you know, bringing them all together under one roof and really shouting about what they do and their, you know, their products as well. I think we could do something really nice and give them a real boost as well. And they didn't so much want to make money, they wanted to shout from the rooftops about what they
Showcase.
do, who they are. Sorry?
Showcase.
Yeah, I think it could be really nice. I think we could really make something work well for them and actually sit down with them and ask them what they think would really work for them. And then maybe we could tailor something. I could put a proposal together for the next meeting, but I think it'd be really good to jump on that and really get stuck in and help some of the local trade as well. Some people say, you know, they see the product, but they've got no idea they have a shop or an outlet in Mumbles. And it might be nice to really give them a leg up and actually pull everyone together under one roof.
Okay, and
yeah, me, yeah. No, Claire, I really like that. In fact, this could tie into the Small Business Week, but maybe we could offer the businesses in Mumbles like a networking event at the Ostream where we get them all together. We can meet them all. I don't know, you know, offer them something, but get them all together, because I think actually it's so, everyone's doing their own thing every single day. Everyone's really busy, but actually making that connection with all of the businesses together in one room might be a really nice thing for us to actually organise, and for us as councillors to actually meet all of those businesses together in one room. Plus it would be good for them. And then the second thing was maybe Rhian and I could put on the agenda, or we could meet for coffee or whatever, to plan something for St David's Day next year when you're talking about future events.
Brilliant. Okay, how would everybody feel if, because I like that idea about Claire's just put in, I think, and a good idea about, you know, it's a good way for us to meet the businesses. Would it be any benefit if I got in touch with somebody like Zoe for the region and asked her to come to a meeting, because she might be able to help with something like that?
Yeah, we can. Yes, but it is just, it's the local businesses. So yeah.
Well, she lives locally, so that's why I was thinking it might be a good thing. Also, would this fit, it's a question for Rhian, would this fit into your idea of a celebration of Wales, with local people having local produce and stuff like that?
Yeah, possibly. You know, I've got a vision for a celebration of Wales, and I need to be a bit more flexible in terms of what it might look like. Yeah, something to think about, definitely. You know, if we can combine the two, you know, to promote local businesses and to, you know, raise the profile of what they've got to offer, absolutely. Yeah, think about.
Yeah,
because I do have I do have a vision, and as I said, Bit precious about it, Rob. You know I'm a bit precious.
I know. I'm not going to tread on your toes. but
Claire
I'm
knows
just
I'm
thinking,
precious.
Maybe it can.
Sorry,
Well,
it's not
I
about
don't
me.
know.
It's not about me. I've got to keep telling myself it's not about me.
Okay, Mart. You're on mute.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, it's just before the pandemic, not long before the pandemic, I attended something along those lines of an Orbit, up in the Orbit Business Park outside Merthyr, which was like a showcasing event for local businesses. And it was a showcasing event and a sort of lunch type thing where people could show off their products and their activities and use it as a network. And I just sort of thought maybe something along those lines where maybe businesses could come together as some sort of event, and then we could open it up to the public afterwards, so that the people could come in then and see exactly what Claire, I think it was Claire was on about, what local businesses we've got, what produce they've got and where people can access them. But then maybe before that, maybe a local networking event for the businesses themselves, because, you know, when I attended this one up in Merthyr, and it wasn't just for Merthyr, it was for the whole Heads to Valleys area. The people up there I know found it very useful, because, you know, a lot of the time, you know, how can I say, what they found up there, they were accessing suppliers down in Cardiff, when in fact they had other suppliers they could have access to who were a lot nearer that they just weren't aware of. So I was just sort of thinking some sort of networking event like that, and then we could tie it in with what you're saying, Rob, because I'm sure the council would help us, support us on that, you know, as business development. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in.
Great. And
On mute.
you're mute, lovely.
Sorry, old hand, nothing
Oh,
to say.
old hand, legacy hand.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see.
Does anybody else? It's still up there, lovely. There we are. Does anybody else have any ideas for any events for the future? Bearing in mind, we've got our budget meeting on Monday, and we'll see how much money we've got to put on events after that.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. All that's left then is a date and time of next meeting, Ian, please.
It's the 28th of February, the last day of February.
It's not though this year because we're in a leap year.
Yeah.
So au contraire.
That's got it.
Okay, well look, thank you very much for giving up
Yeah.
your evening, and thanks to Ian and Claire for actually going down to our stream. Tonight I'm really stuck for time, and also it's quite cold, so I'm glad to stay in tonight. Okay, thanks everybody, and I'll send out an email early next week for those who want to join in with having a meeting to see what we can do for this year's St. David's Day as well. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Where are we going? I'm just trying to get me. Oh, I switched it off already. Sorry.
Is it on? Is the
I managed to drop my mouse. I tell you what I'll do. I'll just switch